now. You're on the other side of the berm. Now, it's not like the explosion was a nice, even thing with a line of demarcation. Just because these buildings haven't fallen doesn't mean that they're not weakened and charred and that there are issues here, but you're beyond the berm, the immediate circle of the blast. And you find yourselves at this point about 3 blocks down from where the Adventurers Guild, about 2 blocks down where the Adventurers Guild used to be, and only 1 block off of what would be Main Street.
And are we, at this point, kind of quartered off from the crowd? Have they been...
Yeah, the angry mob cannot get through because an entire building came down behind you, just missed you, came down and blocked that whole... There's no way. But, I mean, you'll be, as long as you keep moving, you'll be long gone before anybody ever gets through there.
Mm-hmm. So well, I guess there's no point in saying, what I was going to say is, could the rogue not like position themselves like atop a tree or atop of a roof or something and then just start picking off villagers? But I guess there's no real need to do that.
Do we want to be... Yeah.
I don't know if that'd be the best plan of action.
I think we should just go to Main Street because these buildings are probably going to collapse the closer they are to the blast.
I agree.
So let's just move a little bit away.
Can I blend in with
as Vidar is saying this, to the party's left, an entire 2-story porch, so the first story and second story, collapses off the front of the building and slams into the ground in a burnt heap, partially blocking the street, but does not strike anyone in the party.
See? Told you. Let's go.
Totally right.
All right, so kind of while we're jogging maybe towards Main Street, like we got to figure out a plan of attack. Like, like not necessarily attack, but like where are we going, guys? What?
Well, let's go to Main Street. I'm doing this while I'm running. Let's go to Main Street. And we'll just take a look around.
All right.
We'll see. Let's get away.
You exit the blast zone and you arrive on the main street of Zoralan, where, of course, everyone is in the street. The rumors are flying, but word is quickly spreading that this is the responsibility of the Wizards Guild and something must be done. Now, Baron Mafir's troops, the city guard, are working the street, and they're trying to kind of maintain some semblance of order. But now you start to notice that there are some surly persons in the crowd, and off in the distance you hear someone yelling about looting. Things are starting to get out of hand.
Jeez.
I want to go up to one of the guards. I want to see if they know anything. I'm going to ask the guard and say, what do you know?
When you go up to the guard, he says to you that the guard has been called out. They're trying to maintain order in the city. They don't know what happened. They're not, at this point, they're not really believing the rumors that the Wizards Guild did this. He won't say why, but he did say that Baron Mafir has reason to believe this was not the work of the Wizards Guild, that it was something else. And then he leans in kind of closer toward you and says, probably kobolds.
I go up to Zako and Sako. And
don't you forget it.
Talk to the
Don't
guard.
Never let that happen again.
I say, I don't think it was the Wizards Guild, but there's a crazy group of people in there. You should really go check them out. I don't know what's going on. They're running around like madmen. Just saying. Don't believe a word they say.
The guard calls over another guard and sends that guard off, to check this out. They definitely will check that out. In the street now, the crowd, the city people are gathering, and there's starting to be shouts of "We demand justice" and something must be done about these wizards.
I join in the shouts. We demand justice.
So, I'm gonna. Where is Baron Mafir? Does the guard know? Where is he?
He actually says once they've restored order, he's going to come out personally to speak to the people. Right now, they're just kind of locking down the street. They're trying to stop the looting, and they're trying to stop from angry mobs forming and kind of irrationally going off to take matters in their own hands. There is a city guard, after all, and but it's it's like 50-50 whether it's working. Because, okay, here on Main Street, wherever there are city guardsmen, yeah, they've got control of the situation. Where there are not guardsmen, and they can't be everywhere, mobs are forming, and blame is being cast, and not just at the Wizards, but kind of in all kinds of directions. And there's a lot of unrest in the city for sure.
Are the ones the ones that are instigating the mobs, if you will? Is there anything that kind of distinguishes them, like the way that the leader of the initial mob was? You could very clearly see that he was different from the rest of the population.
Yeah, that's a good question. While you guys are standing there, someone runs up to the city guard while you're standing there and kind of tugs at his arm and says, there's a mob that has entered the tavern down the street. They say they're going to go room by room and dispatch any outsiders who are in the city, people they don't know, just on the off chance that they might have been involved somehow, and you've got to send someone over.
Yep. Okay, guys, gotta go. Let's see. See ya.
When you look down the street, you see the Green Dragon Tavern. It's a place that a lot of adventurers hang out to gather rumors and information about various campaigns and so forth, and things that adventurers would be interested in. That's the place he's talking about. There's an inn that's attached to the tavern. It's all fronted on the main street. And basically, you can kind of see an angry mob forcing their way in the doors of the Green Dragon Tavern.
How big is this mob?
From where you're standing, it appears to be about 20-25 people. The thing is that from this distance, you're not really sure. Are they all mob, or do we have some bystanders that have gathered because everybody likes to look at a train wreck,
Challenge accepted. Let's go.
Wait.
God. Yeah.
Are we still with the guard? I mean,
Yeah.
we're kind of heading.
Yeah, the guard's
Yeah.
still standing. He's kind of like with his arms out, kind of like keeping the crowd from pushing,
Did he ever answer where the Baron was?
Yeah, he said that the Baron would come as soon as they
okay.
restored order here on Main Street. The Baron's actually going to come here and make a statement and try to calm everybody, but they want to make sure it's physically safe for him to do that.
So I want to ask the guard, what can we do to help restore peace? Because I think, and I'm talking to the group now, I think our best bet to progress, to any kind of progression, is we got to calm the city down, at least not get us killed. And while they're mob mentality,
Well,
I think
that's why I'm chanting, there must be justice. We're not going to die that way. Don't worry about it.
But you're standing in a group with us.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's in keeping with your, the fact that you went to the guild, you answered the Baron's, flyers that he put out, and the call for adventurers to fight the bandits on the commercial road. And so it would kind of be in keeping with the whole mission that you kind of already accepted. To do that. Now, the guard will tell you, in response to the question about what can you do, maybe go to the Green Dragon and see what you can do. Because on top of everything else that's gone wrong, like a huge explosion, it's probably not a good thing to have an angry mob decide to start putting to the sword everybody they think is an outsider, whether they even are or aren't.
And guys, keep in mind, we're not going to get paid if there's no city left after they're
guard,
done with everything.
you were
There's
smart.
that.
You were a smart guard. We should go there. We should go there. I
All right.
agree.
All right, moving towards the Green Dragon.
Okay.
Tavern.
As you go to the Green Dragon, the mob already kind of torn through the doors leading into the tavern. They're broken apart and laying on the ground on kind of a wooden porch that comes off of the main street. There is a crowd of people kind of pushed up to the door looking in so that they sort of are blocking the entrance. You hear angry shouting inside. You hear some people probably verbally trying to stop this mob, and that's about the level of detail that you have at this point. What do you want to do?
I think we need to get in there, man.
Keep running towards it. Yeah.
So as you approach, you're now at kind of the back of this crowd of people, and they're just spectators. They've kind of pushed up to windows into the door to look in. What you're hearing now is some of them kind of arguing with each other whether or not outsiders ought to be put to death. Some say it's wrong. Some say it's the only way to take care of whoever. Nobody from the city would blow up part of the city, so it has to be outsiders and that kind of thing. Inside, by the way, you can see, you get little glimpses kind of in little holes between people. You can see inside the Green Dragon Tavern is a motley array of all kinds of races. There are elves, dwarves, human. There are Athgar, Demorlian, and so forth inside there. You can see actually off to the right-hand side and toward a back corner, you do see that some kind of thug actually has a kobold who's by the throat, kind of held up against a wall and is shouting something at him that you can't pick up because there's too much noise.
We should make our way through the crowd, go inside. While we go through the crowd, though, we should mention to everyone that it was not outsiders. Just briefly, just
and the
slip it in
second
there.
you start saying that, I'm going to say, hey, what are you doing? Because that sounds like an outsider talking.
No,
Nobody
see,
here recognizes you.
Blame it on the wizards.
Just say an outsider wouldn't have time to set something up like this if he's an outsider. You have to live here.
Okay.
So while moving through the crowd, I want to be, I guess. As we're moving through the
Don't
crowd,
just hit him in the
Is
back of the neck or something.
Because these are just regular city people, there's 0 level, in game terms. As you approach the crowd and you want to make your way through, they sort of realize, wait, these are adventurers, and they kind of part and they let you guys through. Inside the Green Dragon Tavern, you see that some tables have been knocked over as the mob came through and just shoved everything out of their way. There's broken glass on the floor that a barmaid is starting to sweep up. Over in the corner, you see the thug holding the kobold against the wall. That kobold's not in studded armor. He looks like a farmer, and he's being held against a wall. And now there's some angry, shouting going on even at the tables with regard to, do we just up and kill outsiders? Do we? And then you have elves and you have dwarves saying, wait a minute, we're not outsiders, but we're elves and dwarves. Now do we count too? And it's starting to get out of hand.
can I detect intent on the kobold?
You can.
Eight. Success.
You find the kobold to be in dread fear. He clearly is 0 level. He is of no harm to anybody, and he's being accosted by a thug.
I'd like to cast sleep on the thug.
Okay.
Are spells verbal or no? We don't.
No, not
Okay.
in wild space.
So nobody actually knows that we're casting. We can kind of
Correct.
discreetly
Yeah.
Yep.
not look like wizards in this mob.
You
Success.
do have to make eye contact. The thug goes to sleep, releases the kobold, falls to the floor, and it gets really quiet. And the next thing that you hear is someone shouts, "A spell! A spell! Someone cast a spell in here!"
Oh, no.
And everybody starts looking around.
I'm
I
gonna
start
look
looking
around too.
Yeah. Look at-
Oh, I think it was you. How do you know it was a spell? Pointing it out like that. It was you. Why'd you cast that spell?
oh, dude.
4 guys jump that guy and start pounding.
See? Good. Told you.
I yell huzzah!
I join in and just kick him a little bit.
All right.
Okay, so
I jump on. Okay, I'm about to do something really risky, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, the kobold runs for the door. He just wants out. He's nobody. He just wants out.
So I jump on top of one of the tables or chairs or insert furniture here, and I start yelling and I start saying, "This is foolish. The wizards have been here forever. Magic is not the enemy here. We're trying to find out what the actual problem is. Adventurers have always brought fortune to these lands. I don't know, something of that nature."
The thing is that's it's a gutsy out there move, but you're in the Green Dragon Inn. This is where the adventurers hang out, and actually I rolled. And actually, it's received well. And some measure of calm does start coming over the adventurers that are here. Now, you still hear the townspeople at the door. Now, they're going to start egging on, "Oh, no, it's the wizards." And they're going to start doing that thing. Upstairs, by the way, you hear the sound of a door being kicked in. One of the maids runs down the stairs and says kind of to the room in general They're going to kill the outsiders. Somebody do something.
I'm gonna run up the stairs.
Okay, you run up the stairs. Anyone else?
Yeah, I follow
right
him.
behind him. I jump off and
For
I run
sure.
after him. Yeah.
Okay, so you run up the stairs.
Oh, can I
Successful
while
roll.
I'm doing that? While I'm
Okay.
doing that, can I say, let's go? Let's help our brethren. I scream that out loud to all the rest of the adventurers that are in.
You're just causing a different kind of mob.
And
Yeah,
Still a mob.
yeah,
It's still a
yes,
mob.
while
yes.
I'm running, after he says that, I say he's not very good at speeches.
Yes.
The cry for assistance was well received in the room. There
Guys,
there
I'm
are now-
controlling an angry mob.
there
This
are
is so
now
great.
18 adventurers running behind you up the stairs of various classes. You reach the top of the stairs, and there you find the mob that was there, and this is a pretty good-sized mob, has kicked in the door. They've gone inside. They have grabbed hold of simple farmers that were traveling. They're outsiders, but they're not adventurers. They're unarmed. They've grabbed them, and they've drawn back a fist like they're ready to pop them. What do you do?
I'm gonna command.
Okay.
Wait a minute. There's
I was like-
18 people behind us.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'm not very strong though.
Um,
Yeah, I'm gonna command the guy who's about to punch.
Okay.
To fall prone.
Okay. That's non-lethal, so you can do that. Roll for success.
I was
Three.
about, I was
Okay,
about
that
to
works.
stab the first one in the neck, but
So basically, he does this. He draws back like he's going to punch, and then he kind of looks, and he sees you guys. He sees 18 adventurers running stairs behind you, and he drops to the floor. Nobody thinks a spell has been cast. They think this is normal if you're trying to stay out of a fight. You get away with it.
Does this have an effect on the other
on the
mob
rest
that
of
was
the
attacking the farmers?
yes.
Actually, when this happens, the mob starts to think better of their position. They're backing down the hall and starting to look for an exit out of the building. Adventurers now are starting to rush past you guys. They've been drawn to the cause, and they're going to take care of business.
I yell stop.
what?
Yes.
Um,
Pedro.
Two of the adventurers stop next to you and say, What?
We're here
What?
to
What?
we're here to protect our brethren, and we're also here to help fix this problem. We don't need to start fighting each other. We just
Absolutely.
need to come together.
Fix the problem. Kill the mob. And they run up in the direction of the mob.
My character.
Oh, there's
my
a
character
whale of a
goes,
fight that breaks out in the hallway. So the mob that came in was about
This
15.
backfired, guys.
The adventurers you drew were about 18, and there is a massive battle filling the entire length of the hall except for the front end where you're standing. You have rescued this family. They are actually going to run for it and try to get free and away from this. There's really chaos has broken out here.
And this is primarily on the second floor of this
Second floor, correct. Mhm.
tavern.
Yeah, because they were going to go to the top and work their way down, and now that's been taken care of, and the adventurers are really sticking up for the outsiders at the call of Nillian here.
Nillian, no more speeches. Okay.
I'm sorry.
I
Good
think you've
job,
said enough
Nillian.
for the day.
You have some great influence.
What do you do next?
I say we go back down and take care of the mob outside. Let these people handle each other.
Before I follow you guys down there, do I take note of anyone who is kind of just in the backgrounds, not necessarily in this brawl? Like anyone in control of the situation, someone that just seems out of place?
Do you do that on the second floor, or on the stairs, or in the tavern itself downstairs?
Currently we're on the second floor. I guess I'm at the top of the stairs on the second floor.
Okay, I'll roll. You can see, actually from here, a good vantage point, you can see very well. However, from here, you don't see anyone that would strike you as out of the ordinary, not doing what the rest of the people are doing, milling about and kind of waiting to see what's going to happen here, that kind of thing. But you can't quite see all of the booths and tables from here.
Back to the first floor, I guess, guys. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna jog back
Let's head
downstairs and kind of look
Okay.
around and see what's.
Now from there, from about 3/4 of the way down the stairs, you can see off to the left, back into a back corner. You can see more there. What do you want to do?
Same thing.
Yeah, but I say same thing. I was looking for anybody out of place.
Okay, roll. Let's see. Turn real quick and see what I want to have you roll. Perception.
Oh, good.
Roll perception. There are no negatives. Just a straight up pure perception roll.
I passed.
Okay.
Pass.
Okay.
Your roll has to be lower than your skill, right?
Yeah, equal to or lower than. Yep.
Okay.
Does
To
everybody
the
have
skill or
roll?
to half the skill?
Whoever wants to do a perception check, roll equal to or less than your perception score.
I passed.
Pass.
Okay. Okay,
Is it
good.
to the perception scale or to half the perception?
For this one, it's just equal to the perception. Yeah. Okay, so oddly enough, kind of the four of you, you're all looking around, but at one point you kind of look again back and to the left, and back in that back kind of a darkened corner, there's a booth. At that booth, there's a figure with a hood up over the head, seated at the table, not standing, not energized, not kind of part of the rhythm of the crowd, just seated calmly at a table. You see, because of the successful roll, that his hands are tucked inside of his sleeves and he's leaning on his elbows on this table. The right hand comes out and it sort of just waves in a short kind of like this, waves across like this. And all of a sudden, a guy near him starts shouting, "It's the kobolds! Get the kobolds!" And the hooded figure puts his hands back inside his cloak and just keeps sitting there silent at the table. Why this guy keeps getting more energized with, "It's the kobolds! Get the kobolds!" And then I hear two other voices, "It must be the kobolds!" And now they're whipping back up about kobolds.
I want to start sneaking around
Okay.
him so he doesn't see me.
I'm gonna say, did you guys
All
see
right.
it? Did
Roll
everybody
skill.
see it? Everybody saw that?
Yeah, yep,
Mhm.
yep. The whole
Everyone
party
saw
saw it.
Okay.
I could just put him to sleep,
Do it.
and then we can carry him out of here.
Do it.
The guy that's yelling?
Yeah. The guy we
Don't be
see that's doing something in his pocket.
That's a pass.
I'm gonna stun. I'm gonna throw a stun.
You're gonna throw a
Okay,
stun?
roll
Yeah.
for successful skill roll. I have to duck out for 1 second.
We'll pause. I passed. Got an 8.
Here we go. At some point, I stepped on my power cord and unplugged my computer. I'm at 14%.
Oh no.
Yeah, while I'm running all this stuff off of it. Okay, back in.
So I passed. So I stunned the guy.
So
I hope-
you passed for stun.
Yeah. rolled an
Okay,
8.
and I think, were there any other actions that are going to be taken specifically toward the hooded figure?
Yeah, I was sneaking towards him and I passed as well. It's half my agility,
Okay.
right? I have to roll lower.
Yes, it
Okay.
is.
Oh,
Yeah,
I passed.
yeah. Terrific. Okay, so now you're approaching in the shadows, successfully sneaking, when the hooded figure sort of slumps to the table. Got his head down now on his hands, kind of slumped over at the table.
Am I close to him? Am I like behind him yet? Or
You are like a table away. Think of a restaurant, kind of the next table over. You're like that close. Oh yeah, you've gotten right up to him.
Are we still on the staircase? If we are,
Yes.
I kind of want to get out
Yes.
of. I want to get out of this like very visible area. If
Yes,
there's a corner
you're an easy
or
target.
Yeah. I want to kind of.
You can definitely do that. And again, because it's the tavern and these people are kind of excited about all of this stuff that's going on, there's movement, you can definitely get down off the stairs. And even if you wanted to, you could sort of move off into the shadows to the left, because that part of the building around kind of behind the stairwell is more blocked and more in the shadows.
So I want to get behind him
Mm-hmm.
and I want to lean up against the wall and be like, "Saw what you did."
Okay. Nothing happens.
Oh, now you're sleeping, are you? Smart.
I
Smart.
wanna- While he's doing this, can I keep an eye out for the crowd? I want to see if anybody reacted when he slumped over. If anybody has changed.
I rolled and they failed. No one has seen him slump over.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
However, The calls about get the kobolds have risen. Again, these are adventurers. And you see kind of now sort of an angry mob forming in the Green Dragon, ready to go out and hunt kobolds.
Mm.
I pull his hood.
Yeah, there we go. There we
Okay. When you pull his hood back, what you see there is basic human male, appears in his 30s, and he's resting chin down on his hands and his eyes, and he appears to be lightly snoring.
Okay. Can I sneak him out of the tavern?
Let's see.
Am I like close to a window
You're Athgar. You're a little bit small to carry a human. That's the problem.
Okay, I way over to I go, hey, come here. This guy.
To
the group.
Okay.
Oh, to
Say,
us.
come here. Yeah.
Okay, so you draw their attention to the hooded figure also.
I'm gonna go and sit over at that table.
I'm gonna tie his
You're going to
feet
sit
and
at the table
hands.
with the hooded figure?
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
tie his feet and hands with the rope and get him out of here. And we'll interrogate him.
Yeah, we have to sneak.
That
out
doesn't
of
look
here, though.
suspicious.
If they see
No.
that-
Yeah,
they see
nobody
us
will
tying-
see us carrying a body out.
I'm gonna sneak it out.
Don't
worry.
mind us. We're tiptoeing through the angry crowd with a
Plus, I don't know how long he stays out.
We
either.
just we
I
just
might
yell.
have to sleep on him. I might have
We
to
just
cast
yell.
sleep
This
on
is not a kobold as we're carrying him out. That's it. Just not a
Don't
kobold.
mind
worry,
us. This
don't
is
mind
not
us.
a kobold.
Do we just
That's it.
disguise him as just a drunk that just we're taking him out of the
Mhm.
out of the tavern here?
We could do that.
While
I like that.
you're discussing all of this, he sort of snaps out of it and shakes his head, like he doesn't know what's happened. What do you do?
I bop him over the head.
Okay, roll to hit.
I gotta. Am I trying to beat my strength or?
Basically, it's unarmed combat, so you're rolling to hit roll similar to using a sword or other weapon. You're just
Okay.
using unarmed combat.
Sure.
Yeah.
I got a 10.
So what's that compared to your?
So it's a pass.
Okay.
Way pass.
So yeah, you now what you need to do is roll d20 for damage.
Okay. 12.
Kill the guy.
All right. So basically, you bop him hard enough to bounce his head off of the table, and he sort of falls back a little bit. He's got blood running down his forehead, and he looks like he just got clocked out of the blue and got his head bounced off a
I
table.
just wanted to make him go
Yeah,
unconscious.
yeah. I think my
And you
think-
see
I think my plan was
that
better.
right hand kind of go wave like this again, and
Jedi.
Matt moonwalks backwards to the next open area and starts dancing, and he can't stop dancing.
All right, I'm casting sleep. Good shit.
Watermelon.
Oh, shit.
Okay, how did the cast go?
Horribly.
All right. So basically, somewhere behind you, some poor guy falls asleep and falls to the floor.
Oh,
He hits the floor.
please.
The hooded figure in front of you, the three of you remaining, because Borgin, the dwarf, has moonwalked back and is breakdancing behind you uncontrollably. The three of you still remaining, you see this. Now, this is very odd. The hooded figure with that right hand reaches to his left wrist, pulls back his cloak. Underneath his cloak, there's something you've never seen before. There's some sort of band, almost sort of like a watch, but it's not leather. It's some kind of metal. He touches this, and things that might be like little tiny gems or something light up. When he touches this, his figure shimmers and waves like behind a heat wave and disappears.
Oh no, dude.
Told you.
It
we
was
should've gone.
not a spell.